My name is Laura, and this is a story I never imagined I'd tell, let alone live through. A story about betrayal, unexpected forgiveness, and how life can take the strangest turns when you least expect it. About 3 years ago, I went through the most painful breakup of my life. I had been in a relationship with a man named Jack for nearly 7 years. We weren't perfect, but I truly believed we had something lasting. I was already dreaming about building a future with him, maybe even starting a family. But all of that came crashing down one rainy afternoon when I found out he had been cheating on me. Not just once. Not just a one-time mistake. He had been carrying on an entire secret relationship behind my back for nearly a year. The betrayal shattered something inside me. I don't even remember the details of our final conversation, just the yelling, the tears, the numbness that followed. After he left, I made a vow to myself: no more relationships. No more trusting blindly. I built walls around my heart, and for years, I kept everyone out. Fast forward to this past spring. My niece, Madison, had just turned 24. She was in love with a guy named Dylan, and while I had met him a few times at family gatherings, I never paid much attention. I kept my distance emotionally, still cautious from the heartbreak I'd never fully gotten over. Then one Sunday afternoon, something strange happened. I was home, sipping coffee on my porch when Madison called me. She sounded nervous, like she was about to ask a huge favor. She said Dylan had something important he wanted to say *** to me ***, and asked if he could come by and talk. I was confused. What on earth could her boyfriend possibly need to say to me? But I agreed, mostly out of curiosity. An hour later, Dylan showed up at my door. Alone. He looked nervous, fidgeting with his keys as he stood there. I invited him in, and after an awkward silence, he said, "Laura, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I need to tell you something that's been eating at me for years." And then, just like that, the truth poured out. It turned out that Dylan had known my ex, Jack. Not just knew of him, but actually worked with him years ago. At the time, Dylan was just 19, working as a junior assistant at Jack's company. And back then, Dylan had seen things, heard conversations. He hadn't known who I was at the time, but after he started dating Madison and saw old photos of me, it clicked. He realized that I was the woman Jack had betrayed. The woman he had mocked behind her back, bragging to co-workers about his side adventures. Dylan told me how guilty he'd felt all these years for never saying anything, for not standing up or calling Jack out. I was young, scared, and just trying to keep my job, he said. But it wasn't right. I sat in stunned silence. I hadn't thought about Jack in months. Maybe years. But hearing Dylan speak, his voice shaking with guilt, I felt something strange happen inside me. Not rage. Not bitterness. But peace. He wasn't the one who had hurt me. But in a way, his apology healed a wound I didn't realize was still open. For the first time, I felt seen. Heard. Understood. We ended up talking for almost 2 hours. About the past, about forgiveness, about how sometimes people change and grow up, even if they once stood by silently. By the time Dylan left, something had shifted in me. Later that night, I got a message from Madison: "Thank you for talking to him. He was really nervous." What Madison didn't know, what I didn't expect, was how that conversation would change everything. Over the next few weeks, I started reflecting more on my past. I started going to therapy again, this time not to talk about Jack, but to talk about myself, about what I needed to let go of, and what I wanted to welcome in. I started reconnecting with old friends, picking up hobbies I'd dropped years ago, and slowly, the bitterness in my heart melted away. And Dylan? Well, he became someone I genuinely respected. Not because he had all the answers or because he had been perfect, but because he chose to own his silence and make it right. That kind of character isn't common. Ironically, Madison and Dylan are now engaged. They're planning their wedding for next summer, and I've been asked to give a toast at the rehearsal dinner. When Madison asked, I smiled and said yes, though she has no idea what I'll say. But maybe I'll tell a part of this story. Not the part about Jack, not the part about betrayal, but the part where forgiveness found its way back into my life through the most unexpected person. They say closure comes from within, and maybe that's true. But sometimes, it also comes from a scared 24-year-old who knocks on your door one quiet afternoon and helps you remember that not everyone's the same. And sometimes, that's all you need to finally move on.